I'm sharing my desktop to all of you.
Hello, Mahesh.
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Good morning. I heard other day that you were sick. I was really worried, and I called to Zaran Tech and tried to find out how are you doing, but didn't get chance to talk to you because I didn't.
I recovered. Thank you very much. Actually, I recovered actually. So last few 15 days, I just maintained work from home actually. I could not went to office, so I'm just planning from Monday onwards.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel better now?
I feel better now.
Recover really well,
Yeah,
and
yeah. No, actually, it is a major. Actually, it's a major thing. Actually, the problem here is the appendix has been busted in the stomach itself only before doing the operation.
What happened? Can you repeat it, please?
Appendix actually, so it has been blasted in the stomach itself only.
Oh my goodness! How come that happened and you didn't take care of it?
There was a small stomach pain actually since morning. I just ignored it. So
It
that
just happened as a sudden and okay.
I thought it is a small stomach pain. So actually, I keeping on taking the tablets, but in the night, actually 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. the stomach pain is very serious. Okay, so I just went to hospital. By the reaching of hospital, they told that it has been busted. It has to be done the operation. So that's the thing which has.
And
when this happened?
I'm glad you found out and you're fine. Like a few months, like a 2 or 3 months before, one of my coworker, because the consultant always travels, so he was in another city, and he had a really bad pain. And he went to see doctor. Doctor said, you have to admit right now and we need to do surgery. He said, no, he wanna think again. He came back and he was checking with doctor, do you know this area, any better doctor, something? And as soon he got really bad pain, and I don't know why he got Uber, why he didn't call 911. He got Uber and he was on his way and he passed away.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And it was really harsh on us because we didn't know anyone who was living in USA, his relative, his friends, we didn't know anyone.
Oh my God.
And yeah, and we have a group and we will keep try to find out where to go, how to find that who is going to take care, what's going to happen. It was really hard. I mean, to try to find everything. He didn't have any family member here. He was alone and we didn't know much about him. He was just co-worker. He's nice. He's working this. That's all I knew about him and other people also. So that was really kind of when I saw in the blog about you, I said, I'm glad that you found out. All memory came back about.
You are lucky actually.
Yeah.
This blast is very dangerous. Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, it was God grace actually. So the prayers of my family and everyone.
Yeah, it's all about God. Yes, you are right. You're right.
God grace. Okay, so at last, okay, so I'm doing much better than. Okay, so to take the recovery like normal stage, it will take nearly about 50 days to 20 days. Okay, so I'm managing everything from work from home, so there is no issue. But to take a car and to ride the car, okay, so it will take about 10 to 15 days more. So I'm taking rest at home.
Good. You should.
Thank you. Okay, so
you feel comfortable teaching. Otherwise, you can take break. Health
no,
is most
I'm
important.
comfort. Nothing
If you have
to
a
be
health, you have everything.
no, nothing to be worried about that. I'm completely fine now. Just I need to. I should not. No, I should not take more work actually. So I can sit and I can do the work, but I should take more work. Okay, so for next 15 days till everything gets settled.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Everything is under control.
Yeah. Now everything is going to be fine now. So thank God. Thank you very much for all your patience and going through.
We are not worried about classes. We were worried about you.
Thank you. Okay, now today let me discuss about the sales process which is going to be happened. So last classes we discussed about the purchase process. Now today let me go through the sales process. Okay, and we'll see how the sales process are going to be hitting to my profitability and everything. So let me discuss about all these things. Okay, so 1 second, let me find out one document which may contain something about the sales order, something like sales order history, everything, so that it will be easy for us to do the things. 1 second.
So before you start sales and AR, this is Prem here, Mahesh.
Yeah, Prem,
Do you have
Prem.
any material to share with us for accounts payable side?
Yeah, I
Something that we
have the
can
material. I have the material. I'm doing. I'll be doing. Actually, I promised to give one more material also. Definitely by today, end of the day. Okay, so I'll share all the materials.
Okay. Okay. So we
Okay.
can download, right, and keep it. With us.
Yeah, we can download. I will give the option to download. Not to worry.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So when you go to the accounts, first of all, I would like to see what are all the total outstanding. So when we see the billing cycle look like this. So what happened here? So we are going to raise a sales order to the customer. Once the sales order has been done, we are going to do the delivery. Once the delivery completed, we are going to do the post goods issue, that is the post goods issue, and based on that we are going to do the billing is the final accounting entry which are going to be seen in our general ledger side. So this is what exactly the normal cycle actually: sales order, delivery, PGA, and billing. And at the time of sales order, we don't have any kind of accounting entry. If I go into the sales order, if I look out for one of the sales order, okay, so yeah, what is the transaction code? /NVA01 is the transaction code. So whenever an SD consultant, okay, so maybe it is not compulsory that SD consultant has to be created the sales order. If a finance guy or an MM guy who knows about the complete understanding about the sales process, who knows about the creating of the sales order, okay, he can directly create the sales orders. Okay, so VA01 is the transaction code we are going to be using for creating of any sales orders. And VA02 is for the change, and VA03 is for the display. VA03 is for the display. So if I go into the sales order, so if I want to display any sales document with reference to the purchase order or something like sold to party, there will be 4 types of customers will be there. So one customer, we are going to be calling it as a sold to party. Sold to party is nothing but to whom the sales are going to be sold. And second one is going to be called as a ship to party, to whom the delivery of the goods has been done. Third one is going to be called as a bill to party. Okay, and last one we are going to be calling it as a payer, to okay, where the payments are going to be received. So there will be different 4. Okay, we are going to be categorizing the customers at 4 different levels: sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, and a payer. So these are the 4 types of customers we have. Okay, so now I want to look out for a sales order. Now for lecturer's example, I'm looking out for one of the sales order. Like I'll give one example. Okay, 1710. Okay, you can see here, these are the number of the sales orders. These are the number of the sales orders, okay, created for the 1710 company code. Now I just want to look out for one of the sales order. Okay, let me go and find out one of the sales order in the list. So I'm taking one of the sales order. Now, for this sales order, have you done the delivery? Have you done the post goods issue? Have you done the billing? So I want to understand the complete document flow for this particular sales order. So after giving the sales order here, after giving the sales order number, so this icon where you can find, this is going to be called as a document flow. I want to see the complete document flow. At what level the sales order has been completed? Have you created the sales order and you're not done the delivery? Or have you created the sales order, you've done the delivery, but not the invoice has not been done? Just I want to understand the complete flow cycle of the sales order. If you click on this, icon, which is going to be called as the document flow, in this document flow, it will completely give the document flow. So you have created the sales order and you have done the outbound delivery only. You just waited, okay, you just created the sales order, and for the sales order, you have done only the outbound delivery. Okay, so if I select the outbound delivery, if I click on the document display, so this is the outbound delivery. Outbound delivery is nothing but, okay, so to whom the goods are going to be delivered. to whom the goods are going to be delivered. So the delivery will be done, but when you at the time of PGI, there will be an accounting entry will be triggered. When at the time of force goods issue, what is that accounting entry? Cost of goods sold account to, that is COGS account. Be very, very important. This is cost of goods sold account to finished goods inventory account. Change in finished goods inventory account. I'll write like this, okay? Finished goods inventory account. So this is an accounting entry at the time of when the goods have been delivered to the customer. Very, very important. Cost of goods sold account to finished goods inventory account. So when I go into this particular part, so when I look out for the particular transaction here, so for this particular thing, okay, the force goods issue was not done. Okay, so let me take the sales order. Let me take this sales order. I'll go to /NVA02. I'll go to /NVA02. And I'll give the same sales order number. And if I click on the document flow, if I click on, okay, if I click on this particular document, and if I go to the display document, here I can see this is what exactly which is going to be called as a sales order. This is outbound delivery to the customer. That is shifting. Delivery is nothing but a shipping. Delivery is nothing but a shipping. So he is the shipping party. And here, if we come to see, this is the material actually. This is the finished goods material where we have delivered to the customer. Finished good. Finished good is nothing but the final product which has been manufactured and we are delivering to the customer. We are delivering to the customer. Now, when I go into the finished good, so let me copy the finished good and I'll open a new session /O MM03. I'm going to the Metal Master records. Last class we have seen for the raw material. Okay, in the raw material, what are all the views we have to maintain and what is the valuation class we are going to be using for the raw material. So because of the valuation class, the GL accounts are getting triggered. We have seen the complete flow like purchase order, goods received. At the time of goods received, what is the accounting entry? And at the time of invoice, what is the accounting entry? And we have done the payment. So we have completed the complete cycle of procurement. In the same way, I want to look out. So we are telling about there are 3 different types of materials will be there. One is the raw material, second one is semi-finished goods, and third one is finished goods. Okay, so we have 3 materials. One is raw material, second one is SFG, semi-finished goods, and the third one we are going to be calling it as a finished goods. So for each and every material, we have the material types. We are going to be assigning the material type. What is the material type for raw material? We are going to be using ROH. ROH is the raw material type. And for the semi-finished goods, it is HALB. And for finished goods, what is the material type we are going to be using? FERT is the finished goods material type. Now I just want to go into the raw material now. Okay, now let me go. I go into the material now. I'm copying. /O MM01 MM03 the transaction code. I'm just placing the raw material. I'm just placing the material. See here, I'm just placing the material. And here we are going to be doing the sales. Okay, or sorry, I'm clicking on the organizational level because I want to see all the data. These are going to be called as the different views. In that we have the accounting view, also costing view is also there. So just I'm selecting, so which is the plant? 1710 is the plant. So here you can see, okay, here you can see it has been created under the material group. So they have created some material groups under the material group of 1004. And I would like to see under what is the material type for this particular material. So if I click on this information, here you can see here FERT. See under the raw material type, sorry, under the material type of FERT. So this is completely, we are going to be calling it as a finished product. This is called exactly, we call it as a finished product. So now this product contains the view called as accounting view. Every material which is going to be having the impact to the general ledger accounting. where we want to see the general ledger accounting process, which is going to be having the integration between the various other modules to the general ledger accounting. So all the material should have the accounting view. Without the accounting view, that particular material is not going to be integrated, because whatever the transactions you are making with that particular material, whether it is a procurement or semi-finished goods, or whether it is a finished goods, whenever you do the delivery, whenever you do the billing, so there will be some accounting entries are going to be triggered. So those accounting entries has to be hit to my general ledger accounting. So accounting view 1 is very, very important to have the integration of this material to my general ledger accounting. So if I go into the accounting view 1, okay, so this is very, very important for every material. For every material means every standard material, that is the finished good, will take a standard price. For raw material, it is the moving average price. For semi-finished goods and for the finished goods, it will be always will be calculated based on the standard price. If you see here, price unit has been taken it as a yes. Yes is nothing but a standard price. See here. Yes is nothing but a standard price. So for all the finished product, whichever the finished products you take into consideration, for all the finished product, the material type always should be the yes. So here you can see the S is the material type, where the standard price of this material is 1.67. 1.67 is the standard price. Okay, so it is going to be calculating on 1.67, and here you can see this is the valuation class. This is the valuation class. 7920 is nothing but my valuation class. Valuation class for the finished product. What is the valuation class for the raw material? Raw material as per the STP standard, all the 3 series which is starting with 300, 3001 are considered as the valuation class for the raw material. 7900 is for the finished product, and 7920 is the valuation class we are going to be using for the finished goods. Semi-finished goods it is 7900, and finished goods it is 7920. So this is the valuation class. To this valuation class, we are going to be linking all the, what happened? We are going to be linking all the GL accounts in the OBYC. So OBYC is the transaction code where we are going to be linking all the GL accounts. Very, very important. So this is what exactly I would like to see about the materials. Where the material of the finished product has been assigned with the valuation class, and the material is contained about the standard price, and the standard price unit we have taken it as a yes. Yes is going to be called as the standard price. You can see here, S is going to be called as a standard price. This is very, 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 very important transaction we are going to be seeing over here. Okay. So once
Mahesh,
yes, sir.
Mahesh, can I ask one question here, please?
Yeah.
This standard price is coming from the production cost, from production costing, or from where it is coming?
See, sir, actually what happened? Yeah. So what happened here? I'll explain the process here.
Usually business runs the product costing every year, right? Once in a year or once in a quarter, something like that.
Exactly, exactly. So once I procured the raw material, once the goods have been sent for the consumption, that is nothing but we are going to be calling when the goods have been once the goods have been issued for the consumption, we can call it as okay, raw material consumption, raw material consumption account to raw material inventory account. Actually, this is the accounting entry. Raw material inventory account. So once the goods have been issued, okay, the movement type is going to be called as the 261. So with that, okay, once the goods have been issued to the production order, so till this, okay, the raw materials are going to be evaluated on the moving average price. But once the goods have been issued for the consumption, then the raw materials are going to be evaluated based on the standard price. Why? Because the raw materials are getting converted to the semi-finished goods over here. So raw materials are getting converted to the semi-finished goods. So what I will do here, once the raw material has been sent for the consumption, actually what the PP consultants are going to do, so they are going to confirm the activities. I'll show here. So I'll take one example now. Okay, see here. So this is the PP order. This is going to be the PP order. The PP order has been raised with the reference of the sales order number. You can see here. Okay, so I'll start from the starting. So if you want to see any PP orders, okay, CO01 is the create, CO02 is for the what you say about change, and CO03 is for the display. CO03 is for the display. And this is the production order number which I have taken here. This is the complete production order number. Okay. Now if I click on if I press enter, now it is taking me to the production order. Now this is what exactly the material. This is what exactly the material. Okay, for the manufacturing of the goods. Okay, the manufacturing of the goods. This is the order number, and this is with the reference to the sales order. Now if I double click on the sales order number, one second.
So this is Prem here, Mahesh. By the time it comes, I was just curious to know, sales order is basically the second side of the customer's PO, right?
Actually, once a customer gives an order, actually we are going to be receiving that order in a form of a purchase order. Actually, we are going to be considering it as a purchase order. So against through the purchase order, we are going to raise the sales order to the customer. We are going to agree that, okay, so the customer is expecting these are the finished product. Okay, the quantity of the raw material he is expecting as the quantity 1. So we are going to receiving in a form of a purchase order. So what against the purchase order, one sales order actually. In the sales order, what is the final product, what is the finished product, and everything we are going to be updating, what is the delivery date for which plant, everything. So based on after you complete the sales order, with the reference to the sales order, what I will do, I'll start the cycle. And if I see whether the raw materials are going to be available in my storage location or not, if the raw materials are not available in the storage location, my PP consultants are going to raise the purchase requisitions, and there the cycle starts. Of the sales order, the PO cycles are going to be started, and from there the process will be completed till the delivery, sir.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. Now here you can see here, this is the sales order. Now we are raising a sales order to a customer. Okay, see here, you can see here. Okay, here when you come to the customer, only we are talking about the sold to party customer and the ship to party customer. Why? Because this is the complete sales order. It is not a delivery. It is not a delivery. When it comes to the delivery, I'll do the billing to the customer. So, but it is not a delivery. But this is the standard sales order. So we can see the partner type. Partner determination, there will be 4 partner determinations will be there: sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, and payer. So when you take a customer, 4 partner determinations we are going to be do. So that partner determination based on the sold to party and ship to party. So here you can see here, the sold to party and the ship to party customers are going to be the same here, or the sold to party, ship to party customers can be different. For example, I take one example, Rahul. Okay, so you are going to be raising the sales order. So the goods or the sales orders are going to be created with the partner determination of the Rahul. But when the ship to party has to be done, the ship to party has to not be located to my house. The ship to party has to be located to my brother's house. So my brother will be the ship to party. And again, I'll come to the billing. The billing I am going to do. Billing, my brother is not going to do the billing. And Rahul is going to do the billing. Then the billing will be coming to my part. So here there will be 4 different partner determination: ship to sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, and payer. So whenever you are raising any sales order, only the sold to party and ship to party partner determinations are going to be coming into the picture. Very, 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 very important. Now I'm going to copy the customer. See here, I'm copying the customer. I'll go to /O. I'm going to the BP, business partner. I'm giving the customer number here. And I'm clicking on start. Yes. So he's the domestic customer. I'll double click on it. Okay. So here the details of the customer here. So he is basically from US. Okay, this is the address, communication address of the customer. Now I just want to shift it from the FI customer. If here, sorry, SD customer. Now I want to see the partner determination. Now I am just displaying the BP role for the SD customer. Now you can see here there is the sales and distribution tab is going to display. Just click on it. Now here you can see here. So which sales organizations we are going to be switching the customer here to, okay, to whom we are going to be shipping, order is going to be raising, okay, what is the order, what is the shipping, okay, what is the billing, who is going to be doing, what is the document. So these all are going to be updating at the partner determination level for the particular customer over here. So now when you come to the partner function here you are going to give the partner function. So if I give the sales organization 1710, okay, so he has not been extended. Distribution channel, direct sales, he is a direct sales. See here, this is what exactly I'm giving the partner determination. The partner function, there are 4 partner functions I'm maintaining for this particular customer. You can see here, the customer is going to be the one, but there will be 4 partner determined partner. There will be four partner functions are going to be assigned in the same customer. So when you take the sold to party, he is the same customer. When you take the bill to party, that is BP, he is going to be the same partner. When you take the payer, PY, he is going to be the. So these are the 4 different partner determination. We are going to be called as the partner functions. We are going to be maintained in the customer. Very, very important. So these all the data will be maintained by the SD consultants. These all the data will be maintained by whom? By the SD consultants. Once you complete the creating of the customer master record with the partner functions, the same customer I am going to be using for raising of the sales order. I am going to be using for the raising of the sales order. So for this sales order, what is the customer? What is the final product we are going to be selling? So for this is the MTO under -CONF. This is the finished product actually. We call it as a finished product. Just now we have seen. We've gone to the MM03 and we have seen what is the material type. It is the material type is FERT and we are calculating on based on the standard price. I'll explain all those things now. Okay, this is what exactly the sales order. You can see this is the sales order for the particular customer. Now, before I raise the sales order, one second, so all of you, one second. Okay, now /O/CO03, I am going to see the display of the purchase order, production order. Now this is the production order for manufacturing of these goods, for manufacturing of this particular product. What is the product you are coding? So this is going to be called as the final product actually. This is going to be called as my finished product. Okay, very, very important. See here the definition I'm going to begin. Okay, now I'll open a new session. Okay, so what is the finished product? Okay, this is the finished product, FG. This is the finished product actually. So this finished product, for manufacturing of this finished product, there are several components, there are several raw materials we are going to be using. So for this, okay, we want the raw material 1, and we want a raw material 2, and we want a raw material 3. So these are the 3 materials which I am going to be using. These are the 3 materials which I am going to be using for the manufacturing of this particular finished product, which is going to be called as the finished product name is called as the MTO-conference. So what I will do, I'll create the bills of material. My production people, what they will do, they will create a BOM for this, all the materials. Why? Because I'm going to be putting under the sequence BOM. BOM is nothing but bills of material. BOM is nothing but bills of material. Now I'll go to the BOM. Okay, see here. Like logistics, production, master data, bills of material, bills of material. I'm going to be creating the bills of material, BOM, bills of material from the BOM. The transaction code is CS01. CS01 is for the creating of the bills of material, CS02 is for the change, and CS03 is for the display. So you're going to be creating the bills of material. Okay, when I take a material here, I'll take the same material here. So for this material, see here, this is the bills of material. This is completely, we call it as the bills of material. This is what exactly the finished product which I'm manufacturing. For this particular product, what are all the materials, what are all the components I required? You can see here. You can see here, complete materials are going to be listed here. So material 1, which is going to be called as so-and-so material, how much quantity you are going to be taking, it is going to be taking as 100 quantity. So these all the materials are going to be required, okay? Where I'm going to be creating as a BOM, that is going to be called as the bills of material for the manufacturing of this finished product. So once you raise the, okay, now I'll go each and every material. Now you can see here, if I go into the material SG01, see SG01, so this is going to be called as a HALB, which is going to be called as a finished product. Okay. So this is what exactly the finished product. Next one. If I double click on the RM, this is the raw material. So this is going to be called as ROH. So this all the sequence of the material I'm maintaining in the bills of material. You can see for the manufacturing of this product, particular product, I want these kind of materials. So I want these are the 2 semi-finished goods, four semi-finished goods, and I want the 3 raw materials. So all these materials has to be kept over here. So this is going to be called as the bills of material. So once the bills of material has been completed, what I'm going to do, I am going to work on the work centers. Work centers are nothing but where the cost centers are going to be determined. Now I'll go to the production order. Now I'll show everything now. Okay, see here. Now where is the production order? Okay, this is a production order. Okay, this is the production order. So we are raising the production order for this particular sales order, for the manufacturing of this particular sales order, and the order quantity of the customer is going to be so and so. So what is the total order quantity we are manufacturing? Only 1. Why? Because if I go into the sales order, if I see in the sales order, standard sales order, so he want only the 1 quantity, 1 piece. Okay, that is this is what exactly the final product. So the order quantity is also going to be raised for the 1 quantity. So what is the, okay, here you can see here, what is the start date and end date for the manufacturing that is going to be completing the basic trigger. Okay, this is all the things will be given by the consultant. Now, if I go into the controls, okay, if I go into the controls, okay, here we have that plan costing variant. Actually, we are going to be calling it as a plan costing variant. Okay, I'll explain all this plan costing variant in the sequential order. First, let me complete this BOM and the work centers. Then I'll go into the costing variant here. Now, what are the operations you are going to be? So if I click on these components, if I click on the components, see, this is what exactly the order quantity. This is what exactly the order which is requiring of all these components for the manufacturing of the goods. You can see here, these are going to be called as a BOM materials, which I'm going to be using the components for the manufacturing of the goods. Now, if I go back, if I click on the operations, if I click on the operations, if I double click on this operation, if I double click on the operations, okay, here you can see there is the work centers. Okay, here we can see the work center. Double click on the work center. Okay, so in this work center, if we go and see the work center, okay, so we are using the 3 activity types here. We are using the 3 activity types. One is the setup is one of the activity. Second one is going to be called as a machine, and third one is going to be called as a labors. Third one is going to be called as the labors. Means we are using the 3 activities for this manufacturing of the product actually. So totally we can take up to 6 activities. 6 activities are going to be the maximum number of activities we can take in the production order. So here we are taking the 3 activities. One is going to be the production setup. Okay, production setup. Second one is going to be called as the machines, the number of machines we are going to be working for the manufacturing of these goods. And third one is going to be called as the labor, how many labors. Okay, so what is the, okay, based on the labor's quantity, I mean based on the number of labors we are going to be working. So these are the three activities I am going to be taken into consideration for the manufacturing of this particular product. So in this, if I go into the costing side, if I go into the costing, okay, same work center, I created the work center, but the same work center. So there is a cost center, all the costs are going to be triggered to this particular cost center. Okay, once the activity are confirmed, once the goods receipt has been done, so the cost center is going to be the credit. Okay, so this is the cost center. Now here you can see setup. Okay, the activity you minutes, machine, the activity is going to be working on the minutes, and the labor is going to be working on the activity of the minutes. So this is the activity type we are going to be taking 3. Okay, what is the 3 here? Okay, 3 is going to be the setup of production. 1 is going to be called as the machine hours, and 11 is going to be called as the personal hours. Okay, so how many minutes the setup of machine is working, how many minutes the machine is going to be working, how many minutes the labor is going to be working for the manufacturing of this goods. So based on this only I can derive the cost. I can derive the cost of the goods which have been manufactured. This is called as a work center. This is completely, we are going to be calling it as a work center. So in this production order, we have the BOM and we have the operations. What are all the operations we are going to be doing? So if I come back, so this is, okay, if you want to see the components, you can click on the components. These are going to be called as the bills of materials, okay, for the manufacturing of this final product. And if I want to see what are all the operations I'm going to be working, if you click on these operations, it will take you to the operational side and double click on this operation. So they have created one operation here. So it is on the release. The end of the operation is going to be 29/10/2018. And this is the work center we are going to be using. And this is the work center, which contains all the operations here. If I double click on the work center, it will take me to the work center screen. In this work center screen, if you just click on the costing tab, you can see what are all the activities we are going to be using and what is the cost center we are going to be using for the manufacturing. So these are all the activities I'm going to be using here for this particular production order. Now I'll go back. Okay. Now, after you complete this work centers, after you complete this all the production order sequence, okay, now this is going to be called as the sequence. Okay, we have seen the operations. What are the operations? What are all the components? Now I go to the sequence. So sequence, okay, this is going to be the algorithm wise. Okay, they have maintained something like sequence of orders. So this is algorithm with something about, okay, they will be writing some earliest date or something like with the latest date for the manufacturing of this particular sequence, that they're going to maintain all the sequence. This is what exactly we were not working on this. This is the PP people are going to work on this particular sequence of the order. Now, once again, come to the CS03. I'm explaining once again. Come to the CO03. Give the production order number. Press enter. After you press enter, you can see the reference of the sales order number. And if you want to see how it is going to be impacting to my costing, means if you click on the controlling, here you can see this is completely related to the costing wise. Here, this is what exactly we are going to be based on the costing wise. What is the planned costing variant you are going to be using? What is the actual costing variant you are going to be using? Okay, what is the cost sheet? I'll explain all these things, please. I'll explain all these things. Okay, I'll take the same I'll take the same order. I'll take the same order 100016. Okay, what is the cost sheet? What is the overhead key? And what is the result analysis key? What is going to be the variance key? I'm going to explain all these things here. Okay, but before that, I'll explain the basics of this production order now. Okay, now I'll go to the go-to list. Sorry, now let me go into the go-to. Okay, I'll go to the go-to list. Go to the cost. Here there is an option called as the cost. Now this is going to be called as analysis. I want to do the analysis of the cost after the because already this purchase order has already been released. You can see here. It is not, it is completely released and it is completely under the delivery status. You can see here, completely the status is going to be the, okay, in the release status. Now I'll go to the cost. I'll go to the analysis. Here you can see the complete analysis of the cost here. Okay, here how exactly we are going to be seeing here. So very, very important here. This is what exactly the target cost was actual cost. What is the actual cost which has been involved for the manufacturing of the goods? What is the target cost? Means before you do the manufacturing, you will do the preliminary cost estimation. You will get the target cost. So based on the target cost, the actual cost is going to be calculated. The actual cost of the material is going to be the 67.83. This is the total actual cost. Okay, so here you can see what are all the cost elements are going to be involved in this particular. You can see here what are the cost elements are going to be involved in this. Okay, so I'll take this cost element /n FS00. This is called as a planned activity production order. So this is going to be called as planned activity production order. Now let me go into that particular process here now. Okay. Oh my God, I came out from that. Okay, so here you can see here. So here you can see here what are all the cost elements are going to be updated and what is the cost element. Okay, we can see here. Okay, this is the consumption of the raw material. How much amount? What is the total consumption of the raw material is 1.25. What is the inventory change in the semi-finished goods and what is the consumption of the raw material? You have taken all the three materials here. So these all are going to be called as this is what RM20 is going to be called as raw material. SG21 is going to be called as semi-finished goods and RM122 is going to be called as the finished goods. So these are the four materials we have taken in the BOM. These are the four materials we have taken in the BOM actually. So what is the cost? What is the actual cost of this particular, all the material for the manufacturing of those goods? So this is going to be the actual cost of each and every product you are going to be seeing here. This is the actual cost of the material. Now, okay, now you can see here. This is what exactly we are going to be doing. Now, I'll go to this material here, RM120. I'll explain very beautifully here. See here, RM120 /OMM03 RM120. I'll take this material. I'll click on the organizational level. I'll select everything. And I'm giving the plant. So what is this material type? This material type is going to be called as ROH. Yes, very good. Now I'll go to the accounting site. So what is the valuation class? 3000. Okay, now I'll copy this valuation class. Okay, now I'll go to the OBYC transaction code /O OBYC is the transaction code. So it's a it's a raw material. Okay, it's a raw material. I'm going to the inventory posting, that is BSX YCOA. Okay, YCOA. Okay, so here you can see here, these are going to be the materials which we have been assigned. These are going to be the GL accounts which we have assigned in the material prospect. Here you can see here, all these materials are going to be related to the BSX. You can see here. Okay, now I'll just go back. Where is the GBB? Yeah, here it is the GBB. So here you can see here. Okay, 511. Yeah. Here you can see here. Okay, now this is what exactly the raw material. So from here, this is what exactly the GL account which is going to be triggering from the VAY. This is going to be called as the general modification for the consumption of the raw material. So here you can see here 511000000 is the GL account which is getting, because if I see the raw material, the valuation class you have assigned as a 3000. So for this 3000, okay, what is the GL account, but which is assigned to the particular modification key VAY? This is going to be called as 511000000. So if I come to the production order, you can see here 5110000. This is going to be called as the consumption of the raw material, which is triggering from the particular OBYC transaction code. You can see here the GL accounts. In the same way, inventory change in the finished goods. Okay, this is 5430000. Inventory change is also coming from the same 5430000. It will be in the top bar. Oh, inventory change it is. I'll go to the inventory change. They're not going to. These are the price differences which we are going to be taking. Okay, so raw material consumption and the inventory change. Okay, this is for the finished product, actually semi-finished goods. Okay, semi-finished goods. Now I need to go into the material. So I need to go into the material. I'll explain. Okay, now here from the OBYC, these are the GL accounts, okay, which are getting automatically triggered, and you can see here what is the total actual cost and what is the target cost. Everything we can see here in the complete details about the screen here. So this is the complete analysis about the particular order. You can see the particular order for the manufacturing of one piece. This is the total actual cost which has been incurred on 67.83. Now, before.
So Manish, why is the first line minus?
Which one, sir?
The first line is minus, right? 86.26.
This is what exactly, yeah, this is what exactly the activities which are confirmed for the activities, actual which has to be credited to the cost center.
Okay. But the cost is minus basically. It's not
Exactly.
positive.
No, it is credit. It is a credit, not a minus.
Okay.
It's a credit actually. It's a credit, not a minus. I'll explain. Okay. Now see here. Now, before you confirm any production order, so once the production order is getting started, so once you have completed the bills of material, once you have completed the routing, once you have completed the work centers, okay. So okay, once you complete the work centers, everything. So before you confirm the production order, okay, before you confirm all the production order activities, what I'm going to do, I am going to, because you have procured various types of raw materials based on the moving average price. So I will do the cost estimation of all the materials, okay, cost estimation of all the material before you do the goods receipt. Very, very important. The cost estimation should be completed before you do the goods receipt only. What is the goods receipt? Once the goods have been manufactured, once you have completed the goods have been manufactured, once before you issue the goods to the production order. So before that only you have to complete this cost estimation actually. This is going to be called as the standard cost estimation for all the materials. So there is the transaction code which we are going to be using. There are two transaction codes are there. One is going to be called as, okay, CK11N. 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 CK11N is the transaction code. We are going to do the material cost estimation before you do the goods receipt for the production. Before you do the goods receipt for the production. So This is for the single material actually. CK11N, we are using the standard cost estimation for the single material. Means for only for single, we can do material wise, not for all the materials. But if a BOM, if a particular production order contains a material which contains the BOM, if you have the several materials, if you want to do the randomly, okay, or if you want to do the mass, then there is a transaction code called as CK40N. CK40N. CK40N we are using. This is the CK40N actually. CK40N we are using for the standard cost estimation for all the materials. Okay, CK normally in any company, if you go for any manufacturing company or any company or something like once you have implemented SAP for the particular company, they will never go to CK11N. CK11N is only for the single material actually. If you have the only single material, but this particular process we are going to be doing for the mass. Okay, if you want to complete all the standard cost estimation for the materials before you do the goods receipt of the production, so we have to complete this activity as a standard cost estimation every month end. Every month end, the production people will run this particular transaction code and they will complete the cost estimation for the particular material. So once they have completed the cost estimation, if we go into the product, if I go into any of the product actually, if I see here, if I go into any of the product, like if I go into any of the product like MM03, if we come to the costing tab, okay, this is going to be the costing tab. If you come to the costing tab 2, here you can see here whether that for this particular month, February or the March, have you done the standard cost estimation for this material or not? This is what exactly we have to complete. So this is what exactly, yes, the standard cost estimation has been completed for this particular material in the month of February. That is the price at 1.25. This is the standard cost estimation for this particular material here. This is the standard cost estimation you can see here. Okay, 1.25, you can see here 1.25 actual cost. Okay, after running the standard cost estimation, you can see the value is coming and hitting here 1.25. Here you can see here 1.25 the standard cost estimation we have completed for this particular material. In the same way, if I go to the raw material RM, what is the standard cost? Have you run the standard? Let me go and see now. RM 122. Let me go only to costing, okay? Because not all the required, all the things are not required. Okay, see here. Okay, in the period of 10, actually this particular period, but in the current period, actually, whatever the current period in the current period, actually, so the period 10 has been executed with the 60 is the standard cost estimation which we have executed here. 60 is going to be the standard cost estimation, but the current period for the month of February till means 11, 12, 1, 2 means totally for 4 periods they have not run the cost estimation for this particular material. You can see here the last cost estimation was done on 10, that is by 2018 is the standard cost estimation they have completed here. Okay, so they completed standard. So till now we have not done any standard cost estimation. Here you can see here raw material consumption, the target cost was only 60. You can see here the target cost estimation was 60, but as an actual cost till now you're not executed because the actual was not here. Because if you run the standard cost estimation for the February period, then you can see the actual cost. What is the actual cost which has been executed? You can see the value over here, just like the same thing you can see here, just like the same thing what we have seen for the cost. But here, when you see this particular material, there was no standard cost estimation was executed for the raw material. Okay, so still it is showing under the target cost. The target cost is only the 60. You can see here. But as on February, you are not executed any actual cost of standard cost. The value is going to be the showing as 0. So here you can see the minus symbol. Okay, here you can see the minus symbol. The actual variance is going to be showing as a 60 is the minus. So here, like this, for every material, the cost estimation has to be done. Okay, before you do the goods receipt, after you do the goods receipt, nowhere you are going to do the standard cost. The system will throw an error. The standard cost estimation. This is what exactly the planned cost. You can see here. This is what exactly the planned cost, which is coming and hitting. This is what exactly the target cost. So the target cost or the planned cost I'm taking as a 60. See here, from here it is going to be, but you are not done any standard cost estimation here. Okay, so the last standard cost estimation you have completed on 10. So the value of the current standard cost estimate 0, and you can see the variance is going to be the 60 here. So for every material, if I go to the SG21, see here, this is the SG21 actually. Okay, so if you see here, now for the SG21, okay, now we can see directly here, what is the target cost? 11.43. 11.43, okay, because they are not given the planned cost. So the target cost and the planned cost is going to be the same here. So 11.43 and the 11.43. For this, they have done the cost estimation. Last completed cost estimation was 11.43. You can see 11.43 is getting updated. So this is what exactly. So you have to run for each and every material, you have to complete the standard cost estimation. So once you complete the standard cost estimation only, you will come to know what is the total actual cost and what is the target cost. You can see the differentiation between these two here. Very, 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 very important. So to run the standard cost estimation in our SAP, we are going to be using for mass, means for all the materials in the bills of materials. If you have 20, 30, 40, 60 materials are there in one bills of material, if you want to go for all the standard cost estimate for all the materials, you have to use the CK40N. If you want to do individually means for each and every material wise, you can use CK11N. You can use the CK11N. CK11N is for the individual cost estimation for the each and every material wise here. Okay, now you can see here.
So Mahesh,
Sir,
for the raw material, it will be the purchase price, right?
raw material, it will be based on the purchase price, because see, raw material will be calculated based on the moving average price, or raw material will be calculated on the standard price. So normally anywhere, if you take any kind of material, raw materials are going to be calculated on the moving average price. So to bring down what is the total standard cost for the particular material we have procured from the vendor, then the standard cost estimation is very, very important. This you have to complete before you start the production quantity, before you do the goods receipt of the production. Then only you will come to know what is the actual standard cost of this particular material.
Yeah, standard cost I can understand, but for raw material, it's always the price that we bought that material.
Exactly, you're absolutely right, sir.
So when you're getting the invoice, is that the time that the raw material is updated?
What, sir? You take no invoice. Say nowhere in invoice. When you done the goods receipt only, sir. When you do the goods receipt, not at the time of invoice.
Oh yeah, sorry. When the goods receipt is done, that's when the price of the material is updated. Or you have to run even standard cost even for.
No. We have to run the standard cost estimation, sir. Sometimes the same raw material we have procured about multiple times in the same period or same month. Okay, so the price is getting fluctuated from $1 to $1.5. Sometimes it will be $2. So you have to run the standard cost estimation. 100% it is.
Oh.
It is very, very important, sir. Thanks for bringing this into notice. But this is very, very important actually. So once you complete the standard cost estimation for all the materials only, then you are going to go to do the goods receipt. Goods receipt of the production order. Goods receipt is nothing but you are confirming all the activities. You are confirming all the activities like production setup, like what is the machine and what is the labors, and you're confirming all the production. You are going to confirm all the production orders, and then you are going to start your production. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay.